Sometimes if the gel is right, if it feels right, you just go with your gut, and sometimes that will lead to interesting places. I'm Stephen Taylor, this is WeeklyST, and we're going to get very real on a couple of topics this week as we give you another behind-the-scenes look at our growing IT support company and me. Sometimes we're in a challenging position. We might meet with an IT director, IT person on staff, and sometimes we do a little bit of digging. We find that things are lacking, things are falling behind. Sometimes there's budget constraints, but two, sometimes we find that that IT person might not have the breadth of knowledge, right? They might not be up to speed on all that's happening in cybersecurity. They might not have the capabilities to deal with some of the server infrastructure or migrations that need to happen. And they're just one person, right? So sometimes there's too many things on them that need to get done, and they might just not have the capacity to do that. Puts us in a little bit of an interesting situation. We hope to try and work with them, partner with them, and then bring that organization kind of to where they need to be, transform their technology and take away some of the challenges and the issues. But sometimes that kind of puts that business in a financial or a budget constraint because they're spending money on one person. And that really leaves them with kind of part-time support. We're a 24/7 operation. We're there for our clients all day, every day, watching out for them, available if they need us, and really kind of a part-time knowledge base where instead here we have 13 engineers with really a breadth of knowledge. We've got 80 plus clients, so that really expands our knowledge base in what we're capable of. And so sometimes it can be a challenging from a sales perspective, but again, we hope to really interface with those businesses, educate them on really what all their needs are and what they need to transform, and then be able to do that work to transform their business, where then they get to leverage technology. It's not just an expense line item. They can use it and it's going to help impact and improve their business. Nobody likes losing clients. We hate losing clients too, albeit sometimes we have found clients are just not a right fit. What we've learned in our tenure is that a client who appreciates technology, understands that it can be valuable and impactful to helping their business grow and helping their people get their job done more efficiently and quickly. Somebody who wants technology to be that integral part of their business and is willing to spend a little bit on the upgrades, and one who trusts us, right? As IT people, we need your trust so that you'll follow our recommendations and we can kind of, again, keep that technology moving forward. And so unfortunately, sometimes we find that clients don't really fit into that wheelhouse. They don't follow those same mantras that we do. And it's those mantras that helped us to grow to where we are today. We heavily use technology to automate what we do, to make us more efficient, to make us faster at what we do. Unfortunately, sometimes we find businesses that don't kind of follow that mantra, and it's not really a good fit for us. If they're more budget oriented or not willing to take the recommendations, a little bit lacking in trust, because we know there's been IT shops before who are untrustworthy and have done the wrong things or getting paid and not delivering on the work. It's a fact in our industry, but we want the client to trust us, follow our recommendations, and when they do that, we're then able to transform, what can be a burden on a business and really a challenge into, and it's never perfect, but something that then helps drive that business forward, helps their growth, helps them be more efficient at what they do. Earlier this year, we fired a client. They weren't following our recommendations. On the people side, it was kind of a challenge. They were always upset with us, frustrated, even though we were doing our best to, get issues fixed and resolved. But a lot of times there's technology issues because we're not investing in newer hardware, newer software, right? And I get it, right? Budgets are tight and we don't necessarily want to spend money where we don't have to. And if it isn't broke, don't fix it. But newer workstations, for instance, are going to boot up faster. They're going to operate faster for the user that's behind them. It's going to give the user that has a new workstation a morale boost, right? And then it's not going to break down and need help desk or IT support on the backside. And so I I understand the $600 investment, and sometimes if we look at it as a budget line item, we're like, well, we don't want to spend that 600, and sometimes it's 10, 20, 30 workstations, so that's a big dollar value. But the alternative value that you get when investing in technology, again, morale, efficiency, speed, and reliability, and all of those things are well worth the $600 cost of admission, in my opinion. Sometimes we find clients, don't agree with that, they don't follow that, and when it's not a right fit, then we have parted ways before. So I celebrated a birthday this week, which got me thinking, and Sarah got me thinking, all right, I need to make sure I'm well and healthy and fit. Time to see the doctors, time to see the dentist, time to see the eye doctor. We've been talking about this as a peer group, right? It is super important as a business owner to take care of yourself. You've got to be healthy, your mindset's got to be right, otherwise you're not showing up. And I think that it is a constant back and forth and always a challenge. Oh, am I making the right decisions? Oh, it's scary. Oh, is something going to break? Or are we going to, is this going to hurt us? And you have to really keep your mindset and your well-being and your health right. And in the peer group, a lot of us talking about, it's super important to take an hour a day for yourself, whatever that might be, right? Maybe it's meditation, you've got to eat right, you've got to work out, and you've got to have peers and colleagues or a friend that you can call and talk to and kind of air out those challenges or those worries, and then get back to a positive, focused growth mindset like we talked about last week. Something that I think all of us struggle with, but nobody talks a lot about, right? We all have these worries, we all have these fears, but the more we can focus and be on growth and gratitude and moving forward to the vision, the better off we'll be. And so I was on a mentorship call with a smaller startup in the Midwest, and the gentleman, a lot of excitement, a lot of things to be happy about, right? They made a small acquisition, they've got a few employees, they've got a few different products and services that they're selling, and they can really dive in and cross-sell the acquisition clients, a lot of exciting things, but you could tell there was these nerves and kind of this fear. And I just said to him, one of the things I heard from Damon John in conference was, where do you want to be? Write out your vision for the next 3 years, read it every single day, and then just focus on that. And I have done that in my own life, and it is scary when you put pen to paper and then 6 months later those things are happening. Whether you wanted them to or not, so to speak, they come to fruition and they happen. And so it's something that I'm fascinated with, of having a vision board or writing out even the next 6 months, the next year. Where do you want to be? Where do you want your business to be? Where do you want to be at home? Where do you want to be with your friends? And then dream on that every single day. And that helps to, again, keep you focused in that positive, in the growth mindset versus, oh shit, this is scary. I don't know what I'm doing. What's going to break? So I got an interesting email with an opportunity, a little bit of travel, a little bit of excitement, and then a kind of a group and a hive of minds in getting together. And so this opportunity came to me last minute. I think I'm going to take advantage of it, as I often will. Sometimes if the gel is right, if it feels right, you just go with your gut, and sometimes that leads you to interesting places. The most successful, right? They did like personality traits of the most successful, and then they whittled it down even further, and it was the givers who were the most successful, like 5x, right? Alternatively, the bottom of success and money making and shit like that was also the givers. Because if you give too much and you let people walk all over you, you're not going to make it anywhere. So have a giving and a give back kind of mindset, but always stand up for yourself and stand your ground. And it's a component, right? If I'm out volunteering and giving away all my money, I'm obviously never going to get anything done. And then if I let people walk all over me and they take up my time and this, that, and the other thing, you're not going to get anything done. That's where the bottom piece is, right? But at the top level, somebody who gives 2 hours a week and volunteers or is philanthropic, maybe giving away some money, whatever it might be, those were like the top echelon of people. And then it was like the aggressive and the bops, right? But givers are at the top. And so like hit me a little bit. I'm like, okay, how could I be giving back, so to speak? And of course there's local organizations and volunteer time and things like that. For me, it's gonna be part of this mentoring thing, right? What I've been able to do in the first 9 years has been pretty good, and others could benefit from that knowledge. Albeit, I don't know everything. I'm gonna work the next 10 years to make it even better, and then I'll have even more knowledge to kind of pump back. But why would I want to see someone struggle, or why would I want to stand by and let someone struggle if I can teach them 3 things and that helps them impact their business, it helps their local community, helps their local economy. If everyone's ship comes up, so to speak, then it's better for everybody involved. And teaching and mentoring and doing things for others is actually more beneficial to me and brings more happiness than me buying myself a new pair of pants. When you first start a business, it's completely risky. You're quitting your job, you have no money, you're not gonna make any money. You're like, but I'll figure it out, I can do this, right? Then I think for most of us, we get to a certain stature, maybe we get a little bit comfortable, right? And then we're like, okay, yeah, things are good. But you lose maybe that risk tolerance, or you get a little risk averse, and then you're like, oh, I don't know if we should hire this person, or I don't know if we should go after this market, or maybe make this acquisition. But then that kind of becomes like boring, right? Or uninvigorating, right? And so for me, it was, I need to get back to the risk, right? Double up on sales, go after, new team members, maybe branch out into a different market, or be a little bit more out there, right? Even this video series I've always wanted to do it. It's not like I don't need to be a video star or whatever, but I realize it's content putting out there to the market, which is good for business, which is good for recruiting, it's good for mentorship opportunities or something else, right? And so sometimes you have to risk it to get the biscuit, using the old analogy, right? But it also is what's like, then the adrenaline comes back and the risk is like, all right, but now I know what I need to do. I got to get moving, because otherwise this is chasing us, right? And so it brings kind of that competitive nature back. And I think in our peer group, a few of us have kind of reached that stature, or that point where it's like, all right, do I just sit here and, yeah, the business is going to grow, right? If you're doing good work, it's going to grow. But do you really want it to grow? Are you really ready to take it to another level and a new, market, whatever it might mean for you? But there kind of is that, that second jump maybe is what I'm experiencing, or what we're going through and realizing, because the first one was downright scary, right? Am I going to do this? Am I going to start this company? Am I going to jump in? And I've told people it's like jumping in the pool with all your clothes on, and maybe this is that kind of second jump in a way. I'm literally out of here. Hit that subscribe button and check us out next week.